All right. Well, hey, good afternoon, Patriots. How are we doing on this amazing day? This is the day that America was born. This is the day that everyone should stand up and welcome the opportunity that we have been placed in for a new republic. And I'm going to read a couple things to you guys real quick. If anybody shows up, I realize that with the holiday being today, this is the Declaration of Independence Day, whatever you want to call it. It is a day that all Americans should be celebrating, but not necessarily celebrating with some, because some people they think today's a day for barbecues and a day to, relax and get together. I'm not against any of that. I think that's great, but that's not what this day is about. Okay. What this day is about is freedom from tyranny. And if you really look at in the Declaration of Independence, it clearly states in the likelihood, and I don't have that part right in front of me, but I did post it on my profile page. It talks about whenever there is a threat that goes against what we are putting forth, that the people, see, it's we the people. That's the point that I want everyone to still understand. And it's up to us to educate those that don't know this. Because if you don't educate the younger people, and for that matter, there's people that are in their 50s that don't know this. They've been around for half a century, but they still don't realize it's we the people. It's nothing about the government. It's for the people, by the people. And so it's really super important that as we move forward, that when you start to see, and it's pretty obvious that it's already started to take place, it's been working. They've been working now for a long period of time to dethrone this. But there is still patriots like you out there. And there is still people who love America. And there's still people out there who believe in the representation of what the flag, the United States flag, what that means. We need to get more of a spirit of that back into our country, because until we do, we start to slide backwards. And as I have this picture, you're not going to really be able to see what it is, but I keep this out in front of me. Let me see if maybe you can see it. It is a copy of the Declaration of Independence, right? And the other thing that I printed up, and I don't have this in front of me all the time, but I'm telling you, when I read this, see, folks, you probably already know this, the ones that follow me and have been following me. I literally live by this. This is my life. You can ask my wife. Whenever I see the flag, I tear up. Whenever I see a soldier that's come back in a box, it's very hard for me, because see, I know what we did as a country, what we did as men and women for our country to keep it free. And that's the reason why I'm adamant that we must protect our rights. We must protect our Second Amendment rights. We must protect, do not, and I repeat, do not let the deep state come in and convince you that having guns is dangerous. They are trying to do that. They've been trying to do that. Based on the sources that I have, they're about to go into heavy aspects of that. I'm asking you to live by the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm asking you to live by the Constitution of the United States. That's what I'm asking you to do. If you are a true patriot, then you will do something like that. But if you're a flip-flopper, and those have been following me for a while, you know what I mean when I say a flip-flopper. One day you are, the next day you're not. You're like, like the wind, the tree that blows based on a wind. Well, here is some real patriots here. At the very end, it says, and for the support of this declaration with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence. Now, do you understand divine providence? There's some people that'll read that and have no clue what that means. I'm about to educate those people. Divine providence, that's God. So God is in the middle of the Declaration of Independence. Don't ever let anybody tell you that he's not. Of divine providence. And then here's the key. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. You know, the word honor appears in the Bible. I think it's 147 times, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bunch. It is a bunch. You don't hear that word much anymore. You really don't. You don't hear, like when people will lock arms with us, people say, what do you mean by locking arms? What I just read to you, that's locking arms. That's what the Patriot Business Network does. We lock arms with each other. It's not some, hey, you know, you signed up and you're in our business. No, it's you lock arms with us. See, that's what we did as a country. That's what we did as patriots. We locked arms. We said, no, not on my watch. And that's what we must do now. Because if we don't do that, then what's going to happen is exactly what Abraham Lincoln said. And I've been talking about it for months now. He said that, and this was, 1776, although it was actually more like 1778, if you do the study on it, and it even goes a little bit further back on that too. But what I will say is let's use 1776 as a starting point, okay? It was in 1863, right in the 1860s, all right? When Abraham Lincoln, so you're looking at almost 100 years later, not quite, but almost 100 years later, he said that if America ever goes down, it will not go down from a foreign power. It's going to go down from within. That's what's going on right now. And you know what the left is doing? Because they always do this. The left always does this. The left is saying that it's the Republicans that are doing it. The left is, and there are some, by the way, but I'm using just words here to give you an idea. The left is saying that Trump is causing an insurrection and causing all kinds of, division among our country. That's bull. It isn't Donald Trump. It's the Biden illegitimate administration that started even before that, of course. But what I'm trying to say here on this 4th of July is, number one, make sure you understand with clarity, because clarity is power. But when you go forth and you're uncertain, then you don't know how to be patriotic. See, when Antoinette and I are out, my wife knows that there's no doubt that I'm a patriot, that I believe in America. Is there Biden people in Texas? Not a lot, but there are some. Don't matter to me, because I stand up for what I believe in. See, people that are one way around one type of person, a totally different way around another type of person, that's fake. And I don't believe in fake. So you've got to stand up and be a true American. You've got to stand up and be thankful and grateful for what we have. And I know there's some people that said, because I've had a few of my friends tell me this, and I don't agree with them. And so I'm not trying to be, you have a right to your view. I'm not saying you don't have a right to your view. But to tell me that America is no longer great, I'm not buying it. Am I saying that America has been hit? Yes. We've been hit. We've been hit before, though. But we get back up. See, that's what I'm asking a true American to do today on this day. Make sure that you let people know that you are a true American. Make sure that you let people know that God shed his grace on thee. That's what I'm asking you to do, because that's a true American. That's a patriot. That's a passionate patriot. Because a person, if you don't let people know where your passion lies, they'll try to trample all over you. Because that's what England tried to do with King George. But if you look up the 56 men. I challenge you to look up the 56 men. I gave a little bit of an account, not a full account, but a little bit of an account of what who those 56 men were. If you look up those 56 men that signed that document, they didn't sign a document that said, well, if this works, it's great. And if it don't work, no big deal. No, if it works, great. We have some liberty, but if it don't work, we're going to hang. And see, that's a real American, because they're willing to die for what they believe in. I don't see too many people like that anymore. We've got people that are like, they just have a mindset like when things go good, everything's great. When things don't go so good, I'm ready to throw in the towel. I'm never going to be ready to throw in the towel. I'll tell you that right now, until my last breath. I don't know when that day is, but until my last breath, I will be a patriot. Until that day, I will always stand up and I will never kneel. Don't get me going on kneeling for the flag. Oh, man, don't get me going on that one. Because I have no patience for that whatsoever. And don't give me this, don't give me this stuff about, well, you know, the African Americans have been whatever. I don't know. They're throwing all kinds of garbage out there because that's not true. That was planted by the Democratic Party. It was Abraham Lincoln that set the slaves free. So this BS of this, whatever this movement is they got going, is bull. It's absolute bull. And a true American can see through the smoke screen. But if you're not a true American, then you know what? And I'll even say this, and I'm not going to tell you it makes me happy. But my own children, not all of them, but I have some children that actually support the democratic way of life. And I don't mean the democratic way of life that we, the people, brought forth. I'm talking about the socialist Democrats. That's a sad thing. But I know what it is. It's that younger generation. The younger generation doesn't understand what a true American is. And that's what I'm asking you to do. You don't have to serve your country like I did to be a true American. And you don't have to die for America to say you're a real, true American. But you do got to stand for the flag. If there's anybody, I don't think there is, but if there's anybody here that watches me and says they support me, but yet you believe in kneeling for the flag, please do yourself and me a favor. Unfriend me on Facebook, because that, to me, that's not a true American. I mean, it's just not. So, again, I'm here. You know me by now. If you've been following me, I don't sugarcoat nothing. And I totally believe that if we're going to go forward, we're going forward no matter what. But remember, you remember what we had to do to get our freedom the first time around? Think about this. We had to get into a war with England because we would not allow tyranny. Less than 100 years later, we were in another war because the Democrats, the South, wanted, and you know, it's kind of flip-flop now. Have you ever thought about that? The North we had a war with the South. The South wanted slaves. The North said no. Abraham Lincoln said no. Most people don't even know this, or at least most people that I know don't even know this. So we had to have, unfortunately, a war. I don't like war, but I'll stand up to the death if I have to. I will do that over bowing down any day of the week. And I believe, some people don't believe, but I believe that we are on the verge of another one of those. So if you think it's going to be, you know, they're going to just say, hey, you're right, we were wrong, it ain't happening in my view. If it does, that'd be great, but I don't see that happening. Now, I've been rattling for about 14 minutes, so let me say a couple things. Number one, I sincerely wish each and every patriot out there a very happy and blessed 4th of July. Alice Ewings was the first one that showed up on here. William Darrell Dorton Jr., Sandra Ewings, Cheryl Lorenko, haven't seen you in a while, Cheryl. Edward Deal, April McKnight, Jason Trudeau, Lori Love. You guys, these names that I read off, by and large, are the people that have been following me for a long, long period of time. And I do appreciate that. There is Renee Mackenzie Ware. This is a day for me where I celebrate, but I also, I'm concerned that we have too many people in our country that really don't even understand what this day is about. My plan is to come back later today and share more. God bless you. God bless America. Let's keep America great. Let's keep it safe. Talk to you later.